What I want to talk to you about today is culture, which I know is not the first thing you think of when you hear the words data and evidence, but just bear with me, we'll get to it. So as Raj mentioned, I've been at USAID 5.5 years. My first week on the job, USAID launched its very ambitious evaluation policy. And this policy was a really big deal for USAID. It was called a Model for Federal Agencies by the American Evaluation Association. It set out standards for independence, for transparency, for really high quality methods. And it put in place requirements that evidence-based findings be used on a systematic basis to assess what was and wasn't working, what is and isn't working in our programs. So 5 years in, we have some pretty good things to show. So the number of evaluations has more than doubled each year since before the policy. We're now at an average of about 230 evaluations per year. The skills of our staff, the technical skills in evaluation has really expanded as a result of some really good classroom training and hands-on exposure to evaluation methodologies. And 2 independent studies have assessed that the quality and the use of our evaluations has improved over the last 5 years. So we feel pretty good about it. Though we've had to use a number of various carrots and sticks over the past 5 years to get us to where we are. And one of the sticks we've used, which also appears in the Results for America Index, is an indicator around expenditure on evaluation. So USAID's evaluation policy put in place this target that 3% of each unit's program funds would be spent on evaluation, which is a lot of money. And we've struggled a little, but we keep hammering at that. And I think one thing that I appreciate more now, a couple years into this, is recognizing that this sort of metric, it's important for keeping us on track, but what it doesn't quite address is the longer term challenge which we face and we're working on, which is how you institute an evaluative culture in an organization. So how you really shift from a compliance mindset to really owning the idea of evaluations and to investing in them in a way that they don't just sit somewhere, but you're thinking through, like, what are the questions we should be asking? When should we commission this evaluation? What are the gaps in our knowledge, and how do we fill these with evaluation and other research? So that's really what I'm proud to talk about today, and what I think USAID is making great strides on, and where I think we're going in the future. So in the interest of time, I'm gonna just highlight one example of a specific action we've taken over the last few months to kind of build this culture of evaluative thinking in the agency. So we decided to undergo this exercise with every bureau in USAID, so every regional bureau and every technical bureau, so global health, food security, all of the programs we work with. We sat down and said, let's lift the hood and look at what is going on with your evaluation practice. So where are you doing well? What are things that are definite indicators that quality and use is going up? And then similarly, and probably more importantly, we looked at where are you struggling? So are there structural impediments in place? Are there misaligned incentives that maybe if those were addressed, we could move closer toward this cultural value that we're trying to get to? And I think these are some of the things that get buried when you're just looking at top-line indicators. And then we also decided to figure out, okay, over the next year, what concretely can you act upon in order to move us closer to this goal? So I can tell you, I think a couple things have come out of this process. So these are called evaluation action plans. And USAID has committed to doing these on an annual basis. So a couple things that have come out of the action plans. First, I would say it's definitely garnered more visibility for evaluation at USAID. So from a leadership perspective, the head of every bureau had to sign off on these action plans. And they were all presented in December to our administrator, who's holding our feet to the fire on these. So in terms of really getting to like the depth of what are the challenges, leadership is aware of these, and they have to work to address some of these misaligned incentives. Second, I think it's garnered a greater sense of ownership on the part of our staff, because now they have tailored plans that speak to what they specifically need and where they're experiencing challenges. So they're owning what it is that they're struggling with. And third, I think it's tangible and it's concrete, and it's not just, a long report that says, oh my gosh, we have so much to do, culture is so difficult. But it's saying, here are the 3 things we're going to do over the next year to try to chip away at this. So in closing, I just want to reiterate how important I think culture is to sustaining longer term results. And our hope is that through exercises like these tailored evaluation action plans, we're building a stronger evidence base and moving toward a greater culture of learning. Thanks.